This Week in Fish and Wildlife, sponsored by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. This morning we're on the banks of the Gallatin River. Joining us this morning, Adam Pankratz. Adam, things are looking like spring behind us here on the Gallatin, and that's what we're going to talk about this morning is safety around the water.
Yeah, it's springtime, so high water is here, and it's going to be here for a long time with the big snowpack we have. So we just want to get out there and remind people water safety. Be careful around the waters, around the banks. If you're floating the river, if you're fishing, you're wading, anything like that, you want to be really careful where you step, where you go. Make sure you use wading sticks if you're wading. Make sure you're wearing life jackets if you're in the water in a vessel. Remind folks out there that it's also not just the rivers. It's the reservoirs around Montana, it's the lakes, it's the city ponds. The water temperature is really cold right now. If you fall in, it can be hypothermic, and it's going to be difficult to save yourself or get back to shore if you don't have something to help you like a life jacket.
The other factor too is with these runoffs and that oftentimes there can be obstacles in the water that you might not see if you're out floating it, or they can be washing downstream while you're out in the water. You got to be on the lookout for that too. Absolutely,
a lot of obstacles, rocks and down trees, large trees that can be hidden underneath the water can get your boat caught up or get you caught up if you're floating down water. At these flows, if you get hung up in a tree or something like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to get yourself out or get the boat out. That's why it's imperative, again, to wear a life jacket, be there with a friend, be very careful, let people know where you're going, and be safe around the waters.
Yeah, I would think that letting people know where you're going is crucial. Should something happen, you're out here by yourself, things can go south in a hurry, and if nobody had any idea where to look for you, that could be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. It's best to go with a partner so you can keep an eye on each other, so if something does happen, there's someone at least to call for help or maybe help you get out of the water, or at least let somebody know where you are going, just as you would in the back country. The front country, the rivers and such are really dangerous at this time of year, so be extra careful.
You mentioned it earlier, this is we're just getting started with some of this runoff too, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. The flows are expected to be high for a long time, and we're seeing record flows, record snowpack, so we're going to expect the rivers to be pretty blown out like this, very fast moving, very dirty, very dangerous for a couple of months yet until the middle of summer.
That's perfect. Again, Adam Pankratz joining us this morning. We're on the banks of the Gallatin River with some great advice if you're planning to go out on the waterways.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.